Shaping a behavior involves breaking a skill down into small components and then teaching it one step at a time. It's great to watch a dog experimenting with behaviors to find out exactly what gets you to click and treat. This willingness to offer behaviors is usually a trait of dogs that were exposed to shaping early in their training career. Dogs who were taught primarily with luring tend to be a little slower offering behaviors at first, so be patient. If you're new to shaping, it can feel a bit slow and awkward at first, but we urge you to try teaching a couple of new behaviors this way so you can get comfortable with this valuable technique. We're going to use a targeting behavior to demonstrate shaping in action. Here's what the finished behavior looks like.
Ginger, go settle. Good girl. Okay, come. Excellent.
Think how useful this would be at dinner time, since it prevents begging and table surfing. It's also a helpful skill when you have company that doesn't want to be mugged by an overly friendly dog. Our first training step is to have the dog touch the mat with one or both of his front paws. Stand near it and click and treat each time his front paws make contact. This shows the dog the mat is relevant. Delivering the treat while he's on the mat, at least for the first training session, is another way to enhance the mat's importance. After treating, give your release cue, such as free or okay, to get him off the mat and reset for another training opportunity. Or simply offer him a second treat away from the mat.
Boy. Excellent. That was wonderful. Good job.
If your dog is actively avoiding the mat, you'll have to break down your shaping plan even more. For instance, you might click and treat him just for looking at or sniffing the mat at first. Then drop the treat on the mat, and he should be happily stepping onto it in no time. As you continue training, reposition yourself so that you work on different sides of the mat and don't always face it. Click and treat each time your dog steps on it with his front paws. When he's doing this reliably, start waiting for him to put all 4 paws on it before rewarding. When he can easily get all 4 paws on the mat, gradually increase your distance from it. Reposition yourself around the mat frequently. When the dog is trotting to the mat and targeting it reliably from a distance, delay the click and treat for a few seconds. This teaches him to stay on the mat longer, plus it allows him a chance to offer another behavior, such as sitting or laying down on it. If he happens to offer a down right away, you're in luck. Click and give him a bunch of treats, one after another, to highlight his first success. If he sits on the mat, that's a good start. Click and treat a few of those. Then wait again to see if he'll experiment some more. Perhaps he'll sniff the mat from a sitting position, and you can click and treat that. Then he may hunker down a little lower.
Wow, good job.
Eventually, he'll lay down completely. Once the dog can easily go to the mat and lay down, add a cue for this behavior, saying it once, just before you expect him to do it. We use the cue, go settle. It may take several training sessions before you reach this point. This brings up another training tip. Normally, we don't add a cue for a behavior until we're reasonably sure the dog knows what behavior to offer. When you decide it's time to add a cue, say it once before you expect the behavior to occur. This consistent pairing of the word and the behavior will help your dog learn the new cue. And from this point on, only reward him for this behavior if you've asked for it. Now you can build duration. Delay the click and treat so he learns to hold the down position longer. At first, it will just be a few seconds. Gradually, you'll want to build the duration to a half hour or more, just tossing him a treat occasionally during that time. If you plan to use this skill away from home, make sure to train in different settings. And of course, you'll want to gradually add distractions to your training sessions.